Okay, so I think it's starting now. So, hi, how are you?
I'm well, thank you, Holly. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. So, for all my estheticians out there, I have my friend Abby on the call, and I wanted to interview her. And again, I'm doing like a theme where it's entrepreneurs. I want to see how we deal with our ups and downs and all that kind of stuff. So, I would like to have you introduce yourself, what you do, and then we'll go from there.
All right. Well, my name is Abby Reed. I have had an occupation in government, top level government with the Department for Culture and the Arts. So I've been involved in the arts for most of my life. Then, when I was in that career in my 20s and 30s, I was moonlighting as a clairvoyant and doing readings for people on the side. Then I had my three children. And then I pretty much got a calling, you're going to be doing the clairvoyance full time. And I said, well, no, I don't think I want to do that. And I call them the angels. And they said, well, yes, you are. And I said, well, I only want to talk to people that are going to be all right. So I'm not the bearer of bad news. My job as a full time clairvoyant now is to develop strategies to help people through difficult situations. Okay. I've also got a management degree, so I help people a lot with their structure of their business, business strategies. Um, with the clairvoyance, when you're reading for someone, you can see people, places, things, situations. You can see geography, you can see landmarks, you can see buildings, you can see people, what kind of people are coming in and out of people's lives. And I don't know where exactly all of the information is coming from, and I call it the source. I like to call that place the angels. I pray before every reading, so I'm on a very operational high level. I don't believe in sorcery. I've studied witchcraft, I've studied sorcery, I've studied the occult. That's a very negative energy that I tend to steer away from. So my work is, it's like we're like all of us are like a vessel. We all have intuition, and I teach everybody that I read for that you have to trust your intuition 100%. It's kind of being educated out of us not to trust our intuition because we've got a very logical brain,
Hmm.
which is a very great instrument, and it's very good for problem solving, decision making, worrying, all of those things. But your intuition is really, there's a word for it. It's like mother's intuition. It's called claircognizance, where you just know something. So I'm lucky where I can do the clairvoyance. I can see people, places, situations unfolding. Clair audio, I hear words, and clair sentient, I experience the emotions. So it's like watching a movie. So I do enjoy doing it full time. Some weeks are really busy, some weeks are really quiet. It depends on what's going on for people. It can depend on the moon, it can depend on planets in retrograde. Sometimes people come in waves, sometimes there's nothing. So it's tricky because you don't have like a regular source of income, like a paycheck that you can expect each week. So it's all about trust. Okay. And I know with everyone and the cost of living all around the world, it's pretty tough for
Hmm.
people right now. And I've got, as a mum, I've got my son and his girlfriend, my eldest daughter who's 23, my son's 20, and my youngest who's 17, all under the roof.
Oh,
So, we've got a very busy household. It's like a revolving door. I do use tools like cards.
oh,
I
nice.
use ancient numeric rune stones that you can study and read about.
Oh, nice.
And I also use numerology where people are in a 9 year cycle. And
Wow.
that's how I get what number you are in a 9 year cycle. So each year your number changes. So, for instance, I'm in a 41 over 5 at the moment, a 5 year of a 9 year cycle. And when I have my birthday next year in June, I'll go into a 42 over 6, which means nothing to anybody, but that's what I explain during each reading,
Yeah.
what's going on for people numerologically as well. I also work for a private investigation company where I try to find missing people. I'm interested in missing teens mostly, or missing young people. And I also undertake investigations if people are doing the wrong thing, or we're looking for someone's guardian, or we need to know where someone's living. So it's funny because clairvoyance is clairvoyance in the industry, of which there are a lot of charlatans working in that industry. You've got to be very, very careful about whom you trust.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because people claim to have a gift and they don't. And I actually educate everybody. Everybody has the gift. It's not just me. I'm no one special. I encourage everyone to follow their gift of intuition, right? But yeah, you've got to be careful about whom you trust, because there's a lot of people out there who use this particular platform in a not so innocent way. So you've got to be very careful of that. And with the private investigation element of things, the clairvoyance, they use a different word for private investigation. It's called remote viewing. It's the same thing.
Oh.
It's like you can see people, places, things, situations unfolding without having to actually be there, right? So it's the same thing for two different industries, but there's different words. So yeah, in the private investigation, they call it remote viewing. And then in the spiritual realm, we call it clairvoyance. So it's the same thing, right? So I really enjoy doing what I do, because the people that come and see me are usually exceptional human beings. They're trying really hard. They work very hard, and my job is to help them to keep going, to propel them forward. And when they know that, there might be a new job around the corner, a new relationship around the corner, where they're going to be moving house to, where their business might move to, that helps them in formulating strategies for them to keep going. So it's like a little bit of a help up. Okay.
Yes,
yeah. Because people they end up quite dismayed and worried, lost, sad. The other thing I also do specialise in, I've written a book. It's called Another Rental with a Pool. It's a non-fiction. It's about my life, because I actually had a difficult childhood, and I overcame adversity, and my intuition really kicked in as a teenager to help me keep going. So that book's on Amazon, and it's about helping people overcome adversity through difficult times. So that's an element that's really important as well. But yeah, I'm here. I'm just a conduit. I'm like a plug in the wall. So you need to know something, then I'm your conduit. So the information comes in and out very, very quickly. I don't really need anything. I can just pull it out of the air. But the numerology and the runes and the cards and so on back up what we're talking about, so that I say to people, so let's do some cards and we'll confirm what we're talking about. And we might be talking about a new relationship, and then the love card comes up, or the partnership card comes up, or a union card comes up. So that confirms what I've already been talking about, or what the angels have been talking about, to back it up, so that people know I'm not some fantastic storyteller. Okay, so they're the props I use to back
I love that.
up. Yeah. So I really stumbled into this by accident, and it just keeps going and going and going. And I really love helping people. I take it very, very seriously.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love that. So, like, what was your kind of like your aha moment that made you decide, like, okay, I'm going to give this a shot? Like, was there one specific time that you're like, oh, I'm really good at this?
Well, back when I was 17, I had a problem with my windscreen wipers on my car. They weren't working properly. And I was really worried about it because it was winter. And then I had this dream, and it was like for a split second, it was pouring rain. I was in my car and my windscreen wipers were working, right? And I thought, oh, what a strange dream. But it was so clear. It was like I could hear everything, see everything, feel everything. And it was like in a split second. Then a few days later, I went to the petrol station. And back in those days, they used to fill up your car. And this really nice young man said, oh, there's something wrong with your windscreen wipers. And he fixed something. And I'm like, oh, thank you so much. And then when I left the petrol station, I switched them on, and it was exactly the dream that I'd had, like to the letter.
Wow.
And it was just in a split second. And I thought, oh my gosh, maybe I've got some skill. And then I started reading. So literature is really important. You read, read, read. I read Louise Hayes, Dr. Brian Weiss. There's a great numerological author. Dan Millman. I read all of his stuff. I studied the runes. I studied numerology. I did it all in my own time, and then over time, the skill grew. Now I'm 55, so it just kind of grew and grew and grew.
That's
Yeah, so
amazing.
that was my aha moment back at 17.
Wow.
Where and it was just like a trivial little thing, the windscreen wipers, but because it was exactly
Yeah.
what I had dreamt about, and I saw, and it was all in a split second. It was like that was my calling. But everyone's got it. Everyone can do this. You can do it for your family. You can help your friends. You've really just got to trust your intuition. But yeah, for me, reading for people, it's literally like watching a movie.
Wow.
So often when I'm reading for people, I'm looking over here because that's where the movie is, and I'm
Mm.
explaining. What I do is I really just explain everything I see, hear, and feel. And then I had another moment only a few years ago. I didn't want to send my youngest child to the same high schools as my eldest two. And I thought, golly, where am I going to send her? And I was driving along, and you have your aha moments. There's a great author also, Julia Cameron. She wrote a book called The Artist's Way. And she said you really have those intuitive moments when you're cycling, walking, running, showering, driving. Like Steven Spielberg had some of his best ideas driving down the highway, down the LA freeway. In fact, that's where he thought up Third Encounters, no, First Encounters of the Third Kind, whatever that movie was.
Oh, yeah.
It made him famous. But he had that aha moment of that movie driving down the LA freeway, right?
Wow.
So that's where these kind of ideas come in. And that was a bit of a segue. So I was driving along and I'm thinking, where am I going to send my. I was really struggling with the decision, and this voice said Cornerstone. And I'm like, oh, I'll have to look that up when I get home. I thought that was just a primary school. I didn't think it was a high school. And then I Googled it, and it had become a high school in 2015. And I rang them up, and we went for the interview, and she got into the school, and that was that.
Wow.
So if you really are open to receiving the information, you will get it. But the tricky part is I would love to book an appointment to see me, but I can't do that.
Yeah.
So navigating my way through my own life is just as difficult as it is for everybody else.
Mhm.
But as a conduit and a clairvoyant, that's my role, to give you clarity about the direction. So when the angels are speaking and you're reading, you get logo colors, haircuts, geography, landmarks, as I said, buildings. They're very good with colors. Like, for instance, if you're looking for a new job, they'll present, for instance, the color red, and they'll have different shapes. And then you put that together, and that's what the logo will look like of the new place of where you're going to get a job, and so on and so forth. Or they'll give a description of a house, what it looks like if you're moving, a person, if you're looking for love, or you're looking for that particular relationship. It'll give you a description of, for instance, what he looks like, what his hair's like, what his physique is like, a name. I get names a lot of the time.
Wow.
So when I'm reading for people and they're going to meet someone, that I'll get the name, for instance, Michael or Gary or whatever. And that's a marker. So when people do meet someone and say their brother's name's Michael or their dad's name's Michael, and I've already said, then they know they're on the right track. So you don't get all the information, you
Yeah.
get clues to
Okay.
help you along your way. And you and I had a reading, and I think a lot of that came through for you, didn't it?
Yes. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
so like, "Oh my gosh," because yeah, that was the first time I ever had a call and doing anything like this, and so I was like, "Oh," and I was even telling my husband, I was like, "I feel like I need to do another call with you so I could be more specific," because before I wasn't quite sure what to ask, so I was kinda like,
fine.
not
Yeah.
prepared, so like, so when you're working with someone, do you, or even when you're just talking to someone, can you get these readings too, or do you have to kind of like tune into it and then it just kind of comes?
Look, I'm really lucky. I could read underwater if I had to.
Wow.
I wish I was as good a artist, writer, as I am a reader, because I paint and I sell paintings and I do that as well. And I've written the book. But yeah, look, I'm just really lucky. It's very clear. It could be anywhere at any time. And I was trying to explain this to my auntie, and she didn't understand. I don't need to see the person. We could just be talking on the phone, and then the movie's still rolling. So I
Yeah.
just explain everything I'm seeing, hearing, and feeling through the reading, prompted with questions, but often the information just comes in,
Yeah,
and
that's what
that's
we
what they need.
did.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's how it works. But I keep saying it because I'm humble. Anyone can do it.
I love that.
Okay, you've
Yeah.
just got to really trust the information that's coming through. And like when I was really young and I started doing it a little bit more full time, I'd be reading for someone, and it would come in, oh, they're going to move to Sydney, and my brain would go, oh, they're not going to move to Sydney, they don't want to move to Sydney. And then after the reading, this lady got up and she said, oh, by the way, we're moving to Sydney. And I'm like, god damn. So then I really started to trust all of the information that was coming in, pretty much as gospel. That's how it works. So you've really got to trust all. So you've just got to report everything that you're seeing, hearing, and feeling to the client. And the other thing that's really important, I think it's important for any business. I don't advertise a lot. I've just got a Facebook business page. It's called Amuletum, Amuletum, which is a Latin word for meaning protecting you from trouble. So that's the name of the business.
I love it.
And all of my clients come in from word of mouth. They, like I've read, for like say one person, and then they'll tell their sister or their mum or their neighbour or their friend, and then they'll come and see me. So it's all about trust.
Yes.
And the right time and the right place. And look, we'd all like to make heaps more money. We struggle. I'm not going to lie. It's the cost of living is really hard. We're kind of week to week.
Yeah.
So it's not about making $1 million. It's about trusting that you've always got enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and being grateful for what you have in the
Yes.
meantime. And then rather than worrying about things, I try to pray on it.
Oh.
And then a really beautiful saying I took away from my youngest's graduation ceremony, they were talking about the steeper the mountain, the higher the learning. So that's kind of really beautiful. So if you are going through a tough time, you're going into the higher realms of learning. Yeah. So I think for all of us in this type of industry, we do struggle because then we've got empathy and compassion for what other people are going through. So if I lived in a big mansion and I'd paid off my mortgage and I had everything I needed and more, I wouldn't understand people as much. Do you understand?
Yes.
And I think also being a mother is really important because I read for a lot of mums, a lot of young people, and I understand that journey because I think motherhood's the most important thing in the world, and don't we just love our children?
Yeah.
You could just eat them up.
Oh, yeah.
Even though they drive us crazy.
So true.
Like every 5 minutes, Mum, can I borrow the car? Mum, have you got a spare $10? Mum. But so when I kind of put it all together, it makes sense. It makes sense to me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But I don't want to ramble on. So cut me off and ask me some questions, and we'll go from there, I'd like to do a card for you while we're here, by the way.
Sure, I would love that. Yeah. No, I love everything you're saying. It's amazing. I'm so interested.
Well, look, there's the love card.
All right.
So you're very much loved. All right. That's a beautiful card.
Thank you.
That's the abundance card. So, when you're worrying about money, you really just have to trust that there's going to be enough at the right time. Yeah.
Okay.
The other thing that's important in anybody's business is you need to filter your business I kind of imagine laser beams around, like, when you go to a museum and there's those precious jewelries and they've got all those laser beams around them. I
Yeah.
kind of do that in my head for my business so that I eradicate any negative, low level type of people coming into my world. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you can ask your angels to filter your own business
Oh, I
by
love it.
asking them, please just bring me the best, the most lovely people. And then that's what happens, because I had to learn that, because I did work in a shop for 5 years. I worked in 2 shops out the back as a reader, and we used to get all sorts of people coming in and out all day. And then I learnt you've got to filter your business so that you're only attracting the right type of people to you. Do you know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
yes.
So
I
that's
love
really
that.
important. You're very good at communicating, Holly.
Thank you.
Expression. Yeah, you're a
I've
great
heard.
communicator. You've got a lot going on. I can see that. And you're a big thinker. So try not to overthink things.
That is a big problem of mine. I am a overthinker.
And I'm a very analytical person, because I am an educated woman. I have a degree, and I've written a book, and, I'm literarily quite sound. But
Yeah.
with this, the angels have taught me a long time ago. I want is yes, go for it. I should, no. Yeah, so
Oh,
I should is your brain.
okay.
I should go down to the beach, but I don't want to. Then don't go. I want to ring my sister, but she might be busy. Just ring her anyway. So I want is yes. I should is no.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, so that kind of breaks it down a little bit for people, so that you're not kind of doing all of those unnecessary things that you don't need to be doing.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's important to be playful.
Oh, I like that.
We tend to take ourselves very, very seriously.
Yeah.
We need to kind of have some fun along the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
I
then
love
they
it.
want one more for you. You need to let go of anything that's not serving you anymore.
And that's tough.
Yeah. It is tough because numerologically 2025 is a 9. So when you add up 2 and 2 and 5, it's 9, right?
Hmm.
9-year of the 9-year cycle. So we're at the end of something pretty full on. And you can see that all around the world. You can see exactly what's going on with the United States, Israel, Saudi Arabia. We're at the end of something,
Oh,
It's
yeah.
it's like a 9-year of a 9-year cycle. And then next year we go into the 1 year, 2026. So 2 and 2 and 6 is 10, and then you reduce that to the number 1. It's the 1 year of the 9-year cycle. It's a clean slate. So anything you're not needing, using, utilizing, wearing, even relationships, friendships, it's all a time of it to come under scrutiny, so that when you go into 2026 next year, you're taking all of the things that you really need with you, and you're getting rid of all of the rubbish that you don't.
Oh,
Okay?
yes.
Yeah. And then the other thing is 2025 is not necessarily a year to thrive, it's a year to survive.
Uh-huh.
And it's like we're standing in the corridor waiting for our name to be called. Next year looks like it's going to be a lot more positive for people.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Yes.
It depends on your mentality. There's a lot of negativity in the world. There's a lot of hate speech. There's a lot of racism. There's poverty. You know, just try and be as positive as you possibly can.
Yeah.
It's a really interesting time to be on the planet at this point in time, especially in your country. And freedom.
Oh,
We've got freedom to. So happiness is free. Yeah. So think about the things that are free. And when my kids were little, we used to talk about this. And my youngest, she was only probably about 5, and she said, "Oh, well, love is free. Friendship's free." And we thought happiness is free, so we
yeah.
don't need to pay for that, do we?
Right. I
Yeah.
love that.
So if you kind of, you know, but look, I'm human. I have my worries just like the next person,
Yeah.
and daily struggles. But my job is to give clarity to people who are experiencing difficult times.
I love that.
Yeah. Nobody comes to see me where it's all tickety boo.
Right.
It's usually we're solving some pretty big problems,
Yeah.
The other thing I specialise in is narcissism. 1 in
Really?
3 people who come and see me are victims of narcissism or narcissistic personalities.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
and I've studied that for 11 years.
wow.
Um, just by reading. And I give a lot of advice to those victims of people in narcissistic situations. There's a lot of people that come and see me who are getting divorced, or they're having to go to court with their ex, or there's a custody issue, or there's a foster parent issue, or so I solve a lot of really difficult problems like that because the nice people come and see me, not the narcs, not the
Right.
narcissists. The
Yeah.
victims come and see me, and then look, even the angels coach them right down to what to wear to court, what to say, how to
Yeah.
behave. I've had some really great success in some custody issues with beautiful women whose narcissistic ex
Mhm.
partners are trying to take their kids away from them. So all of that stuff, that's really rewarding for me.
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
we've won some really big cases on that.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's where the angels, they get all really feisty. They're like,
Mm.
we're going to win this, because there are some not so nice people in the world.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
That's
So that's
amazing.
that's something that I really specialize in.
So you should
So
write
I
a
have a
book on that.
passion. Hey.
You should write another book on that, on focusing on that topic.
Oh, yeah. Look, it's a hard one. It's a lot.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think if people really educate themselves and read up and learn about things like narcissism, it's much easier to navigate their way through their life, you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
So because that kind of personality disorder is everywhere.
Mhm. It is.
Yeah. So that's in a nutshell what I do.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. I just love that. It's so awesome. I just find it so interesting. And I just feel like when you walk in the store, do you kind of get bombarded by thoughts and stuff when you walk by people, or can you kind of turn it off a
No,
little
no.
bit?
I shut it off. I say no. We're not doing that. I'd actually. I think I'm a little bit agoraphobic. I don't fare very well with large groups of people
Mm.
anymore. In fact, my girls, especially, they can, when we're at Kmart or somewhere, they can see that I'm starting to fade away a little bit, and they know that it's time to go home soon.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really sensory in that respect. But no, I don't get any of that. I don't tune in without permission.
Mhm.
I do have a lot of deceased people come and try and see me, especially at funerals, and I just have to say no, 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 we're not going to do that, because I can be a medium. I can do that work. I can read for people and connect with their deceased relatives, but it's something I prefer not to do,
Yeah.
because I find that energy very low level kind of entity, kind of energy. And I actually have a very good friend who is a medium, and I refer those people to her,
Oh, yeah.
and then that's her job. Yeah. But what I do get is signs a lot. I ask a lot for the universe for signs. So if I'm struggling with something, I'm worried about something, I'll ask for a really special sign. And I'll give an example. I was going to a very important appointment with my eldest daughter. We had to drive up to the city, and I was worried about this particular appointment. And then in Australia, we've got black cockatoos, and there's a very special cockatoo with orange feathers underneath. And I've never seen one in the flesh before. And one flew over the car. And I went, wow, that's amazing. I've never seen an orange-tailed cockatoo before. That's amazing. And that was a really good sign. And then we went to the appointment, and we had an excellent outcome.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so the universe can give you signs. I'm a bit cheeky sometimes. Oh, well, show me a fox then by tomorrow, and I know I won't see one, but they're very clever. So then I'll go to Spotlight, and I'll walk in the store, and then there's a towel hanging up with a fox on it. So they're very sneaky, very clever.
I love that. You're like, you got
They're
me
very
again.
clever.
Oh, that's
But like
amazing.
whenever you're taking the garbage out, look up. You might see a shooting star. When you're walking, look around. You might see a beautiful flower, or a butterfly, or a lizard or something. I mean, I saw a turtle down at the beach the other day, and that was extraordinary. And
Wow.
then I googled it. Oh, what does the spiritual meaning of a turtle mean? And it was about longevity and and well-being, and that was very comforting to me. Do you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
So that's, yeah, because everybody's like looking at their phone and
Mhm.
they've got the earplugs in, and they're not looking around anymore, you see.
Mhm.
So I actually find, without going into a whole segue about it, I do find AI, technology, devices, I call them black mirror devices, I find them almost the work of the devil. So
Mhm.
you've got to be very, very careful with how you filter and utilize that as well.
Yes.
Yeah, because I mean, especially with our young people and how bombarded they are with how much is going on the internet,
Mhm.
and the web and all the rest of it. So that's of interest to me as well. So I just try and keep it really simple, you
Oh,
know.
yeah.
But it's an absolute pleasure to read for people, and it's something I really enjoy doing.
That's great. Whenever you do readings, do you ever feel like you're really exhausted, or because of the clientele that you bring in, you actually feel
I
pretty
feel
good?
really energized.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Yeah, but I can't probably these days, I can't do probably more than 2 or 3 readings a day.
Mm.
Yeah, because they're quite long.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you do get quite worn out if you've done 3 long readings. You know, I tend to sort of, have an early night.
Yeah.
But yeah, I try and break it down where I'm not reading too much each day, and I still am very humble. I charge a lot less than a lot of other people do as well. I could charge $500 for an hour reading,
Yeah.
but I just wouldn't. I just wouldn't. Do you know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
to cap it to a certain price in order to make it affordable for the person who's coming to see me. So
Yeah.
you have to be really fair.
Mhm.
There are some mediums out there in America. I'm not going to use any names. John Edwards, for instance. I think he charges $15,000 for a reading.
Oh my
Yeah, there are
goodness.
some big celebrities
Mhm.
that are charging a lot of money for people, and I just don't think that's. I don't think that's right.
I agree.
I have to. I think in any business, whatever you do, you have to be humble.
Mhm.
Don't you think?
I agree. Yeah, because it's
And
like
as
you
a mum,
yeah.
your kids keep you quite humble too, don't they?
Mhm. Oh, I agree. Yes, for sure. Keep me down to
So do
earth.
you have any questions, Holly, at all?
Oh, I'm like, oh, I have so many. Sorry, but that first, I just want to say I appreciate you being, like you said, staying humble and everything else because I feel the same way. It's that it's finding that right balance for charging because it's like, okay, I know I'm gonna offer so much, and I know what I can do is gonna help, but I also don't, like you want to be able to help the masses in a sense, like more people than So I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate that. That
Mm.
is so amazing that you can stay like so because you're good. It's like I know I can help, so I think that's amazing.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Look, I mean, we'd all love more money in the bank, but I just kind of try and maneuver my way. That I am a vessel,
Hmm.
and I try and do my best. In fact, there's a great book. It's called The Four Agreements. The Four Agreements are: be impeccable with your word, do your best, don't assume anything, and don't take anything personally, which is the really hard one.
Yes.
If someone doesn't wave at me down at the bus stop, I take it personally. So I'm still working on that one, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's really important just to try and do your best and be impeccable with your word, and don't assume anything, and don't take anything personally as much as possible. And the other thing, is just to look, what am I? The angels are they just always they just try and guide us as best as possible. So each person has maybe a village of angels, and different angels come out in front to lead at different times of your life.
Mm.
So, you've got probably 7 or 8 angels around you at all times. You
Oh,
might have
wow.
some deceased family in amongst that as well, and they're all a bit of extra help from upstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just as long as you're thinking that way, you have to. We're not the controller. We're not meant to be controlling everything. So those people in the industry that do spells and mistake themselves as the controller, and they're manipulating things, that's where you're dancing with fire.
Mm.
And then there's another book called Outwitting the Devil, which is a great book. I haven't read all of it, but Outwitting the Devil, it's all about fear of poverty, fear of loneliness, fear of getting sick, fear of whatever. And it's about overcoming those fears in order to have a good life. And that's a great book, Outwitting the Devil, in reference to that. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I kind of believe in all of that, because there is dark and there is light, and I just try and work as much as I can with the light.
That's so good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to get a list of all these books. I'm like, I'm gonna definitely have to start reading some. I love it. And yours too. I'm gonna get yours. Can I ask you a question about witchcraft? Like, you always hear such a bad word. Do you find witchcraft is like all bad, or what would you like define witchcraft? Like, are you like stay away from it, or is some of it good? Like, I don't know if that makes sense.
I
But
think when you're trying to manipulate that type of energy in order to achieve something, it can be quite dangerous. Yeah. Anything to do with, spells, sorcery, witchcraft, it does have a very negative attribute about it. Yeah. So it's just important to kind of work with the light and the Holy Spirit. That's kind of as simple as it is for me.
yeah.
I used to build solstice circles on the beach every 21st of December, the solstice, right? And then I'd get in the circle and I'd make all these plans and whatnot. And then terrible things would happen. I'm like, what's going on? And then I researched it more. I'm not the controller. Okay? I'm not the controller. I'm not allowed to manipulate energies in order to control things. I am a vessel for the light. So that's kind of where I've kind of popped out now that I'm 55. Yeah. I find, look, if witchcraft works for people in a positive way, it's their business. But it's just something you've got to be very, very careful with. And there's another little story. My husband was away last year for about 4 months, and I was cleaning out our bedroom, and he's an avid reader, and he had this little paperback. It's like a cheap little paperback of a Dracula book, and I never liked it, and I thought, it was the middle of winter, and I thought, I'm just going to throw that into the fire, and I burnt it. The next day, I was loading the fire, and I tripped over the dog, and I fell into the fire, and I burnt my hands, and I burnt my face. It was pretty bad. I was all right. I healed very well. I was very lucky. Anyway, when my husband got back, I said, look, darling, I'm so sorry, but I burnt your Dracula book. I didn't like it. And then funnily enough, the next day I had this weird accident, and he said, darling, the book Dracula is all about Dracula making people have accidents. So the dark energy does exist.
Wow.
And I spoke to a friend about it who's very much like me. And she said, well, you forgot to pray about it beforehand. And I thought, of course, silly me. Yeah, so you've got to be careful, because those elemental energies do actually exist.
Oh, wow.
Because I didn't just trip over the dog. I felt like I was pushed. Yeah, it just happened in a split second. And then when my husband said, oh, that's what the book's all about, Dracula making people have accidents, I was like, oh. So you've got to be really careful with sorcery, witchcraft, black magic. You're dealing with a very dangerous type of element. You're best to go to the light.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I've always heard of witchcraft as being very bad. And then I was watching a documentary once, like, oh, it's not always bad. I'm like, really? So I'm just curious. That's why it kind of triggered my mind, because I'm like, I've always heard it being so negative. And they're like, oh no.
Look, some witches might be having a great life and living their best life, and it just depends what kind of energy and what source, where you're coming from. I think a lot of the elite in the world, like the celebrities and the rich and famous, I think that a lot of them have done a deal with the devil.
I've heard that.
And it's really easy for them, and they're like, woo. I don't know what's going to happen to them when they pass away one day. I mean, it'll be very interesting to see.
Yeah.
But that's the easy road. That's the easy road, I think the steeper the mountain, the higher the learning. That's the light.
Yes.
That's where you've got to go. Yeah.
That feels right. It does. It feels like, okay, yeah.
It does. Yeah, it feels right, doesn't it?
Yes.
But look, if there's, look, I've looked at lots of sites with witchcraft, and it's avid everywhere. If that's what people want to do, that's their business. But it's just not for me.
Yeah.
It's just not for me. I don't want any visits from any spooky wookies. Thank you very much. Um,
I love that. Yeah.
not for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? I have read about it. I've studied it. I've practiced a little bit of it when I was younger, but it's just not for me. Yeah,
Yeah. I've always been
yeah.
traumatized. My mom was always like, don't do this, don't. So I'm like, nope. Even like a Ouija board, people are like, oh, try it. I'm like,
Oh no,
nope,
no,
nope. I don't
no.
care if you're joking or not. Like, get that out of here. I'm like, no.
Oh look, when I was 15, we did a bit of a Ouija board thing in my bedroom, and then that's just my dog there. And then the next night I woke up and a painting had fallen off the wall and landed on my neck.
Oh my goodness.
And I knew it was because, when you're playing with fire like that with a Ouija board or whatever, it's like you're putting a free beer sign out on your street, and an arrow to your house. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you've got to be very, very, very careful of any of that. So that taught me a big lesson at 15,
Yeah.
because we were just fooling around, being stupid. But I reckon my bedroom was haunted for quite a long period of time after that, and it taught me a really big lesson. You've got to be super careful.
If you feel like you're haunted, do you ever hear like people like burning sage and having holy water? Do you feel like, do you do any cleanses like that? Or do you kind of stay
Yeah.
away?
There is a wood called Palo Santo, Palo Santo. It's from South America. It's a holy wood where the tree has been fallen in the forest for at least 10 years before it's harvested. That's a very good cleansing tool. Sage, it's okay. Sage is, salt is your best friend. Salt. Just a bowl of salt. You can put it anywhere in your office, your kitchen, wherever you like. I like to do like a little ceremony with some nice white candles. Brilliant. And maybe, a little bowl of water with some flower petals in it and things like that. And then I'll do my little thing, and then I'll leave the salt out for a couple of days or whatnot. And then the salt sucks in any negative energy in the room or in the place, and then you wash it down the sink. So that's my best way of cleansing. I've researched that for a very long period of time. Just your normal white salt. I don't recommend Himalayan pink salt. A lot of people get into all of the salt lamps and the Himalayan pink salt, and I've never been drawn to that, and I always wondered why. And then my brother-in-law, a few years ago, his father was a geologist, and he taught me that the Himalayan pink salt has elements in it, minerals in it, that aren't very conducive to cleansing. So you shouldn't even really be eating it or cooking with it. So white salt is your best friend for cleansing. It's the cheapest. It's the cheapest. So you can go into some spiritual store and they've got all these fancy cleansing things that are going to cost you a fortune. You can just go to the supermarket and get a bag of salt, take it home, put it in your prettiest bowl, and that's your cleansing. But just make sure you tip it down the sink.
The sink, okay.
So I'll give you an example. Years ago, we all had an argument in the kitchen, all the family, like, bah. And then I got the salt out, and then I burnt my beautiful, never burn red, black candles, always white, blue, green, whatever. Maybe red on Christmas, but still, I don't recommend it. White is your best friend on anything. Anyway, we had this big argument. I got the salt out, and I lit the candles, and then the next minute, one of the kids went and started vacuuming their room. The next one went and had a shower and washed their hair. And then the other one went and did their homework. So there you go.
That's amazing. Yes, I love it. You know what's funny is I have salt because I heard that if you have salt, it just kind of helps purify the air and just
100%.
Yes, that's what I did. And I actually had some old salt. It was like the black, like lava type. It's only because I had it for my facials. I did facials and stuff. I had
That
extra.
sounds great.
Oh, perfect. So I was like, I'm just use up whatever I have, but I'm gonna go and get some regular salt though, and have like a different intention with it. Because my intentions, I have like little cups throughout the house just to absorb smell. Because I've been researching. Like I think I'm going through perimenopause, and so they have like you get like I guess like fake scents. Because I'm always telling my husband, I'm like, there's something in this house. Like I smell it here and there. He's like, I don't smell anything. And then like my friends come over or something. I'm like, do you smell anything? They're like, no. And I'm like, it's in my nose, you know. But so it makes me feel better having the salt. And I just recently started maybe like 2 weeks ago. But it's good to dump it down the sink. I didn't know what to do with it. So
Yeah. So um, the angels, they say two things. You can either put it back to the earth,
okay.
but for me personally, it's almost like it dissipates when you wash it down the sink in the water.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
it
like
actually even makes like a sizzling sound, and you just know that it's all going down the sink. That negative energy.
oh, I
Yeah.
love that.
But yeah, it's just your regular. It's either sea salt, cooking salt, just white salt. That's your best friend.
Okay. Thank you. I'm
Yeah.
definitely gonna do that. I'm like,
Okay.
oh, I'm excited.
Yeah.
That is so great. Thank you so much for sharing. I really appreciate it. I'm like, this
That's
is
okay. It's
so
a
good.
pleasure. Absolute pleasure.
I know. I always
Yeah.
love talking to you. It's always so sweet and so positive. I always like whenever I talk to you, it's just like, oh, I feel so good. Even though sometimes it's a real quick high, but I'm like, oh, that made my day.
Oh, no, that's nice. And I really trust you, Holly. And that's why I agreed to the interview. And I really respect the work you do and the fact that you're a great mum
Oh, thank
and you work
you.
really hard. So, yeah, you're right up there.
Oh, thank
You're
you.
ticking all the boxes, the angels are
Well,
saying,
that means a
Yeah,
lot. Thank you so much. And I trust you too. I know like when Samantha had introduced us, I was like, yeah, I don't really know what to expect because she was telling me, but everything was just so positive. And I was like, yeah, let's do this. And I'm like, this has been amazing. It's such a good, like, we've had such a good connection. I really enjoy
that's
it.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
And like for business women out there and you and me, I think the most rewarding and beneficial subject matter in business is testimonials. So
Mm,
when people come back and they report, oh, I did find a house and it is a two-storied house and you can see the canopies of the trees out the window and stuff like that. That keeps me going.
oh,
Because
yes.
sometimes you hang up and you think, oh my God, what have I said to people today? Oh my goodness. But then when you get the testimonials and they've confirmed what you've told them
Yes.
as happening, that keeps me going.
Oh, that's
So I
amazing.
think testimonials for any person in business is really, really important.
Yeah.
Holly's facial was amazing. It was a really great experience, so on and so forth.
Hmm.
And then that kind of encourages other people to jump in and have a go. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, and I love
Yeah.
that too because like you said, it's not just for 'cause I know like every day or nowadays it's all about testimonials. I have to have proof, but like you said, I think it's just as much for us as it is everybody else because you're like, okay, I did do a good job. Because sometimes you're like,
That's right.
I feel like I'm doing a good job, but I don't really know, and then they confirm it. You're like, okay, I got it. I know what I'm doing.
That's it. And it kind of propels you forward to keep going. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Because it's really hard running your own business. And if you're not getting the clientele as much as you would like, and financially it's a little bit of a struggle, and so on and so forth, just keep going. You've got to keep doing it. But yeah, like we've chosen pathways of which are more difficult. It's not like we're selling shoes or, you know, selling lip gloss or whatever it might be. But whatever you're doing, you've just got to be passionate about it.
Hmm.
Even if it is lip gloss, you just got to be passionate about it.
Yes.
And make sure you work with nice people.
Yes.
Because as I said, there's a lot of not so nice people out there. And it's just best to avoid them as much as possible.
Yeah, like I always
Yeah.
say, not all money is good money because I've had some really interesting clients and I'm just like, oh, no, never again.
You probably don't want to deal with them again. Is that correct?
Right. Yep. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, sorry.
Yeah, that's right. So just remember to filter your business. It could be a prayer, it could be a symbol, it could be, a song, it could be anything, but just keep filtering, filtering, filtering so that you get the most trustworthy people coming to you.
Oh, I love
Some
that.
weeks might be quiet, other weeks will be busy, but at
Hmm.
least you're working with the right people. Yeah,
Hmm.
because if you're working with people that really suck you dry,
Uh-huh.
it's very, very draining.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I call them time vampires.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yes.
and it's very draining.
Hmm.
Yeah, and when you're a nice person as yourself, people, it's like a moth to a flame. You're going to attract all different types of people. So you want the nice moths.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
So that's kind of just keep filtering your business that way as much as possible, and hopefully the money will come.
Yes.
You know. Yeah.
Oh, I
but
love
it's
that.
not easy, is it?
Right, I agree. There's sometimes just like, "Uh-oh, what I get
Yeah, that's
myself
right. Like,
into?"
oh my God.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right.
So
Do you want
on
another card?
Sure,
You
if you
want
don't
another
mind.
card? No, of course.
I love this.
Oh, there you go. You've got a very nice guardian angel looking after you.
Oh, I love that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. So rather than worrying about it, just pray about it.
Okay,
Okay.
thank
Yeah.
you.
Ask for help, and they will heed the call, because we often forget to ask.
Yes.
We just are worrying about it and trying to figure it out, because like life's just like a series of puzzles, really.
Mhm.
But if you're really stuck, you can ask for help. And my auntie, who's very wise, she said, Abby, anything can happen in 24 hours. So just remember that. If you're
Mhm.
having a really tough time, the script could flip
Yeah.
as quickly as it reversed. Do you know what I mean?
Yes,
Yeah.
that makes
But
sense.
we're only human, and
Mhm.
we're in these flesh suits.
Yes.
So we have to try our best, don't we?
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
With your deck of cards, do you have a specific kind that you go to? Like, are there some that maybe like aren't good to use, or do you like pray over them first for just like?
Okay. So the kind of cards I use are more like vintage wisdom oracle. Like
Mm,
this set, for instance, she found all these photographs in a French antique store, and then she digitally remastered them into the deck. I feel like they've got a really good energy about them. In
yeah.
fact, when I saw them, I had to buy them. I rarely buy cards.
Okay.
I use angel cards, goddess cards, oracle cards. I do have a set of tarot that was given to me on my wedding day by the girl who made them. They're beautiful, but I do advise people to stay away from anything to do with Aleister Crowley
Mm.
or anything really tarot or sorcery. I
Mhm.
think I think that's black magic.
Yes.
You've
Yeah.
got to be really careful of black magic.
Yeah.
Yeah. If people want to use tarot, use tarot. Just remember what you're dealing with.
Mhm.
Yeah. But I do find, those kind of um old masters, so to speak, like Aleister Crowley and whatnot. I think that's dealing with black magic. So
Okay.
I don't deal with any of that stuff
Yeah.
whatsoever. No.
Because I hear both.
I
So
used to, but no, I've learnt it's
yeah.
probably not advisable. Uh, you just
Yeah.
might be dealing with black magic. Now, black magic's very powerful.
Mm.
It's very tempting. It's quite alluring. A lot of people practice it, but I think you're dealing with fire. Look,
Mhm.
personally, yeah,
Yeah.
that's just me.
I agree though. I totally agree. I'm like, nope. Oh, gives me
No,
the
um,
heebie-jeebies.
yeah, but no, like the girl who gave me her cards, the Golden Tarot, they've got a nice energy about them.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So I it's just and just ask to be guided. Guide me as to what cards I should use, or and I also use the ancient numeric rune stones, which are Celtic, and they're from Celtic times.
Oh,
And they're very interesting, and they're from the source, and I find them a good energy as well.
oh, okay.
So the angels have kind of guided me as to what I should be practicing with. I've always got my crystal around me,
Oh, good.
okay, like all that stuff, and just beautiful things, like flowers and nice drawings and pictures and paintings and nice candles, and just keep it nice and light.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah, because if you're dealing with this kind of oracle, black magic, you are dealing with fire.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay,
Yes.
just got to be very careful.
Oh,
When like children, because I love children, right? And you know how they've got that really innocent energy, that quality about them. Yeah.
mhm. Yeah.
It's a similar kind of energy that I feel when I'm reading for people. It's a very
Oh,
innocent, beautiful, light kind of energy. Yeah.
yes.
Um, and I tend to stay away from anything to do with black magic or sorcery.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think it's very dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
But people want to do it, that's their business.
Right.
Be very, very careful,
Yeah.
but
That's
it's not for me.
Oh, yeah, it scares me to death. I'm like, I hear stories of people and I'm like, "I'm good, just stay away."
Oh, I can't even watch a horror movie. I'm hopeless, you know?
Me
Yeah,
too.
I'm absolutely hopeless. If it's got horror in it or some sort of, I don't know, you know what I mean? I
Mhm.
just can't do it. I just won't do it. Yeah.
I'm the same
So,
way.
but I guess it's just as you get older, you kind of become a little bit wiser about what works for you and what doesn't.
Yeah.
And I find any, like, even in the book, The Four Agreements, he talks about gossip as black magic.
Oh.
So, even gossiping, you shouldn't be gossiping, so you've got to be very, very careful.
Mhm.
And my youngest is really tuned in on all of that stuff. She's got a really strong faith.
Yeah.
And yeah, so, we talk about, gossiping and all that stuff quite a lot. And we just know that it's not good. And we don't,
Mhm.
we don't do it, You
Yeah.
can be factual
Uh-huh.
and talk about what this person said and what that person said. But when you're really stirring the pot and you're gossiping, that's
Mhm.
black magic in my book. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's something really, really interesting. So yeah, you just got to deal with the right energy, make sure the right things come into your life, you
Yeah.
know?
That makes
Yeah.
so much sense too. 'Cause I notice that if like I'm around that energy, I feel like, oh, like I feel bad. I'm like, man, I shouldn't have either. I don't know if I said something maybe, or I just hearing it being around it versus like you said, like, oh, this is what happened. And just kind of like, okay, let me get that. Cause sometimes for me, I have to get it out. I tell my husband, I'm like, I'm not the type of person to hold it in. Like, let me just get it out and then I can move on.
Yeah,
Because if
yeah,
not,
yeah.
it just eats me up.
Yeah.
But I don't mean it like you said, gossiping to stir the pot or anything.
No,
It's just,
it's
so
factual. As long as it's
yes.
factual, that's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, when people are getting all gossipy about one another, it's not good, is it?
And I feel it. I
Um,
feel so like, ugh,
yeah,
so
that's right. That's
yeah.
right. So you just got to keep it light, as simple and light as possible.
Oh, I
You
love that.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's
Um,
so great.
I've got actually I'll just show you what's that.
Yeah.
Um, I'll show you where that book was. Well, I just want to show you so that people can see.
Yeah.
So that's the name of my business,
Oh,
Amuletum.
perfect. Yes. Thank you.
Okay. And I have a Facebook page under that name. I don't think you're on that page. I'll send you a link to that, okay? Because you
Okay.
were on my personal page that I had as a membership, and I'm
Yes.
winding that down, and then I'm going to wind Amuletum back up. There's 1,600 people on there,
Wow.
and a lot of them are American.
Uh-huh.
So I'll send you the link to that as
Okay.
well.
And if you don't
Okay.
mind, I'll put the link below this video too, so that way people can click
Okay.
it and they can see it if that's okay.
Perfect. That'd be
Awesome.
fantastic. Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you. And thank you again so much for taking the time to talk with me. I really appreciate it.
That's okay. My pleasure, Holly.
And thank you for doing the
Yeah.
reading too. That was like, oh, that was so sweet. Thank you.
Anytime.
Oh,
Okay.
thank you so much. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, thanks
Yeah.
again. I'm going to go ahead and stop recording. So if you want to hang on just one second
Yeah,
and
sure. No
then
worries.
thank you.